Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Barefoot checking in from sunny Los Angeles, California.
And I'm MJ, joining you from the beautiful but very, very cold Bogota, Colombia. You're listening to WIN StreamIt, your go to source for everything digital graphics and what's coming next in our industry.
How cold is it?
Very, 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 very cold.
Just let you know, in Los Angeles today, it's a wonderful, very, very sunny day. Hey, welcome back to Win Stream It. We've had an incredible lineup of featured guests lately. And today, we're keeping the momentum going with another big one with our good friends from APC.
That's right, then. Joining us is American Print Consultants, or APC, one of the most respected distribution companies in our industry.
We've got Rob Almstrom and Dave Mee with us, two leaders who have built APC into a true powerhouse distributor. APC is known for their technical expertise, hands on support, extensive product line. They don't just move boxes. You know, I've followed and admired Rob and Dave since their early days in the industry, and seeing what they've built today is it's an incredible story. You know, and this is not an easy business, it's a tough business. So I give them a lot of kudos for what they're doing.
Absolutely, Dan. And part of that story is the cutting edge technology they bring to the
Mhm.
market. Today, they're giving us a closer look at the DGI product line from Korea, including a printer that can image over 8,000 square feet an hour. That's lightning fast. Blink once and the job's already done.
Wow, 8,000 square feet per hour.
Yes.
MJ with always with the numbers. Hey, let's get right into it. Rob, Dave, welcome to Win Stream It. Hey, by the way, MJ, the last time I saw Rob at a trade show, I didn't recognize him. Now I have to really ask, is Elvis in the house?
Rob, Dave, one of my favorite parts of our streaming sessions is that I get to ask how our guests got into the business and what path they took to get here. So please tell us about yours.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I got into the industry in 1999. I bought a one of the first wide format solvent printers. It was a Roland experimental unit, and I saw the future of wide format. It just to me made perfect sense. I spent a few years doing wholesale printing for print sign shops that didn't have that capability, and then in the early 2000s, I got involved with a Mamaki dealer in a local neighborhood, local to me, and started selling and servicing Mamaki JV4s, JV3s. Got heavily involved in textile. The company I worked for was very big in consulting for textile printing. So I saw that as a real opportunity and a lot of growth and kind of latched onto that. And in about 2010, they closed their doors. I had moved on and decided to just go out and start servicing printers. So I got a car and a bag of tools and just started fixing printers. Then it was after the '08, people weren't buying printers. So service was big. I was trading in printers, refurbishing those. And then I think it's 2015, Dave, me joined, and Brian Hendricks, another partner. We were all three inkjet technicians by trade, um, doing this for a lot of years. And we decided to combine forces and go after the market. We signed on as a dealer for Muto and Mamaki not long after that. And it's been very successful for us because we've modeled it purely on the service being first, because anybody can sell you a machine, but that selling you that machine does you no good if it's broken and you're out of production. And we understand that, coming from a print shop myself. So we really try to make sure that that's the most important things. Our customers are running and they're getting the quality they need. Dave?
That's great.
Yeah, I come from a long graphics background myself. I started in production right out of high school. I was working in photo labs, processing transparency film, C41 film, doing photographic prints. Then, that was in the 90s and digital was starting to become a thing. This is back in New Zealand where I'm from. started working for a company that was one of the first ones in New Zealand at the time, running digital printing on the laser copiers that were available at the time. And from there, started to get into wide format inkjet. Got into doing a lot of pre-press, Photoshop work, retouching, and then it was when Mamaki opened their office in Boston in the early 2000s. I'd just gotten laid off from a production job. I saw that they were hiring, and I figured, I've fixed enough printers trying to get jobs, out the door. I could probably do this. So I went to work for them. Loved working on the machines. Loved helping out customers. So I was with Mamaki for about 5 years, and then have always been involved in the service of large format printing since then. I like Rob, late 2000s, similar story with the economy downturn. I had an independent company running around servicing printers, and then then got the call from Rob early in the 2010s, around 2015 I think. And suggested that we partner up, and
I guess it was 2014.
And so then that's what we've been doing since. Started off just running around servicing printers, and then very quickly manufacturers started approaching us, asking if we wanted to sell the equipment. And and our service background, worked well for us, I think, because we understood the need to be able to follow up, and provide good training, and then follow up, and make sure those printers kept performing. And that's the mentality we try and keep today.
So now we're about 30 people deep. We've got technicians strategically placed all throughout the Northeast so we can reach our customers quickly. We try not to fly, guys. It's no good for anybody if you can avoid that. We really try to focus on what we're good at, and that's service, textile printing, industrial printing, and of course we fill in with a lot of the sign shops and print shops as well.
Hey, that's a great story. If you think about it right now, there's such a huge move to people that are not doing tech support, and really just, hey, they sell it on the front end, and then, hey, it's a pump and dump, or just here it is, see you later. Somebody else services, and I think that you're in such a very good strategic position there. Hey, it's great hearing about your journey, how APC came together. Let's turn things up a notch, because it's time to talk about cutting edge die sub printing. APC is going to walk us through the DGI product line, some information about APC, and let's hear what sets DGI apart and why it's making such a big impact on the market.
I guess this is me.
Yep.
That's you, Dave.
So just real quick overview for people that don't know APC, and where we're located and what we do. So we have a showroom, 5,000 square foot showroom. So we have a huge range of equipment. From I could go through all the manufacturers, but this is sort of a DGI presentation, so we'll keep it mostly to that. We have 5,000 square foot showroom and about 32,000 square feet overall for warehouse and office space. So because keeping people printing is very important to us, and minimizing that lead time, we do warehouse a very large amount of inks and parts. For all of our dye sub solvent UV printers that we support. Because we've focused very heavily on textiles and dye sub, we made the move a few years ago to private label our own paper. We work directly with a mill overseas. We bring in a lot of our own paper. And in addition to that, we stock a lot of beaver paper as well. It's good to have a secondary source. So you can see here our warehouse stocked with paper. We primarily 70 gram, 95 gram. We do a lot with apparels and home decor, but then we have some lighter weight papers too if those are needed. Switching to the dye sub printers that we offer, we try and cover the whole range. So for people sort of getting started, don't maybe have these huge production needs. We offer the Epson sorry, I don't know my glasses.
6470.
6470.
That's a new model.
Yep. So that's, for 44 inch, we find this works really well for people kind of getting started, people that are working with a large flatbed press, maybe, working on pre-made garments. Works really well for lanyard and narrow web printing too. Then up to 64 inch for apparel, continuous yardage type printing. The Mamaki TS100 is very popular for us. We've sold a lot of those. Getting into more sort of more production level machines. The Mamaki TS330 has been very popular for us. These work well in that sort of print to farm arrangement. It's easily scalable because you can add more as you need more capacity. We also offer the Epson in the 64 inch as well. And then for people that need a little bit more capacity, but they're not quite into the industrial level, we have our own line of printers called the Apex Jet, primarily the Apex Jet E4. So this machine uses 4 Epson i3200 print heads, has very robust feed and take up. So it's designed for long run unattended printing. So, that's sort of our light industrial offering. And then moving on, in the true industrial high-speed printer space, obviously Poseidon II, which we're talking about today. Very high speed, low maintenance, designed to just run day in and day out continuously. As an alternative to that, we also offer the Mamaki Tiger 600. This is a high-speed machine from Mamaki. And, we like to, offer both options, just so we can, cover everyone's needs. We do 10-foot printers as well. So something that's worked pretty well for us for a while is the HP Stitch 1000. It's a well-proven machine, very easy to use. And then now that we're partnered with DGI, we offer the FH3204. This is a nice machine, has 4 Kyocera print heads in it, so very industrial build, very reliable. And this can actually run paper or fabric. Same as the HP, it's a hybrid machine. For direct fabric solutions, we offer the Mamaki TX330, 74-inch machine. And then in the DGI's DGen line, we offer the Telios machines. Now, depending on the model, these will either run direct dye sub for flag production or textile pigment for printing on natural fibers. And they're available either as standard roll-to-roll or sticky belt models, sticky belt being needed when you are printing stretch apparel fabrics that wouldn't normally transport through a standard printer well. So, we try and cover the whole range. I think if you move on one more slide, obviously, finishing is very important. So we have worked with Practics for a long time. They're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. So they're great to work with because, they build everything right there, which means that they have all the parts right there as well. So if we need a part for service, usually get it overnighted. They're very solid machines. They've got a great reputation. We also, probably going on 5 years now, we work with Colorfly, which is another manufacturer out of South Korea. We like their machines too. They little lower price point, but still very industrial build. They have a lot of really nice usability features. We have a lot of these out in the field, so very proven reliability. And then, of course, there's always a need for flatbed pressing. So GeoNite is our go-to on those, from small key-shirt presses for DTF up to the large maxi press for oversized items. And then we also offer textile cutting solutions as well. We partner with Kasu Laser. We've been working with them for 5 or 6 years now, I think.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. So what's nice about them is that they have a proprietary vision software. It's a little bit different than what other people use, and it allows actual continuous segmented cutting. So if you're doing a lot of apparel markers and they don't entirely fit on the bed, if it's larger than the bed, or you get a garment half on, half off the bed, it will cut what it can, advance, re-scan, and continue the cutting. So you can, and they have a roll feeder on the back, so you can do continuous production on this. You don't have to keep, interacting with it manually. So these have worked really well for us. We have a lot of those out there in apparel shops. And then, DTF, of course, this is definitely a lesser thing than a focus on die sub, but we are involved in it. Of course, being a Mamaki dealer, we offer the Mamaki TXF. These have worked really well for us. I mean, it's the first machine from a major manufacturer. Reliability on these is really good. We have a shaker that we offer that's very easy to use, low maintenance. So that's been a good system for us. And then, of course, the Polyprint film jet, which is a very unique offering. This is an all-in-one machine. The powder, it's not even calling it a shaker is actually incorrect, because it actually distributes powder from above and then uses a vacuum system to remove the excess powder. The aim with this is to minimize the powder that's escaping into the environment and just make the whole thing into one seamless integrated solution rather than putting pieces together. We're one of just a couple of dealers, I think, that offer this, and we're unique in that we have this machine in our showroom if people want to see it. And I think that kind of wraps up the product lineup. Talking specifically about the Poseidon II, the main feature that people notice about this is the print speed. So I just kind of called out the print speeds here. So you see at the highest speed, single pass, it's over 8,000 square feet per hour. And a lot of people, when you see these specs, you have to take them with a grain of salt. Very often I sort of drop down one from the highest speed to kind of come up with something that I think is sustainable. But we've tested this machine printing solid colors at that single pass mode, and it's Rob called out some colors that he was sure were going to fail, and there's no banding even at that single pass print speed. So that is a real sustainable speed. Our color guy Tony was very impressed with the inks. Another thing that you often expect at single pass is that you don't quite get the same density out of the inks, and he's hit all his numbers even at single pass. So it is a true usable mode. But you can see the other modes called out here. I mean, even at its highest resolution, there's no getting around that. This is a fast machine. I think, what do we got? Still 3,000, or what are we, 1668, even at its highest resolution. So it's a very versatile machine. So it covers a lot of sublimation applications. And then I think we've, so sort of the key features reason we picked this and what makes it, a good choice for us and our customers. It's got 8 Kyocera print heads. Kyocera are kind of regarded as the industry standard for, an industrial, high durability, high quality print head. So this has, 4 heads in line and then staggered with another 4 heads. So it can make a very wide print swath in one pass. Resolution's up to 600 by 1800 DPI. Max print width of 71.6. Pretty standard for textile use. No pinch rollers in this machine. Uses very large diameter rubber feed rollers in conjunction with dancer bars to transport the paper very reliably. That's what allows you that single pass printing without any banding. Number of things in the machine that we'll cover that are optimized for lightweight papers. Has a very large heater module under the machine that the paper passes across before going to the take-up, which is in the rear. Obviously important at these speeds to make sure the paper is dry. And all around, just look at the build quality on this machine. It's a huge amount of steel on this machine. It's built to be a production, workhorse. Very durable and designed for low maintenance. And then features an onboard computer as well. So this, you can separate this from your RIP environment you don't need to release the file from the RIP and then go running across the room to the printer. The files all land on the RIP on the Q computer, and then it can be controlled from there. This will we'll probably do a little bit of a walkthrough on this to cover some of these features, but some of the things that make this machine unique that these print heads are actually water cooled. There's an industrial chiller on the machine that actually runs water through a radiator jacket that's on each print head. The idea here is at these very high print speeds, although these are a piezo print head, they do generate heat as they print. And the idea with the chilling is to keep the heads at a really consistent temperature so you don't get any color shifts from the beginning of the job to the end of the job. Another thing that's kind of unique is the S-shaped wave grooves in the platen. Again, this helps just pull out any wrinkles and keep very flat paper, even when you're running at low gram weights. I can't read any of this from where I'm sitting.
Have we lost Dave?
Yeah. We lost your audio.
No worries. I'm sure they'll be right back.
Yes, they are.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
on me. I closed the computer.
Yeah.
I will take full responsibility for that.
Hey, that wasn't in the script.
Well,
You got to keep everybody on the toes.
he's only technical when it comes to printers. So the wiping mechanism runs on a chain, and every time it wipes, the machine pumps distilled water onto the wiper to clean it. So it makes for very low maintenance from a user standpoint. Another thing that's unique about this machine, the thing with dye-sub printers, they run at a much higher rate than standard solvent and UV printers. So there's a lot of carriage motion. In the same length of time, the amount of times the carriage goes back and forth on a dye-sub printer is very high. So we typically see that belts and pulleys wear out quite fast on dye-sub machines. That's been addressed on this machine by completely eliminating those components. This runs on a linear motor, so it's the rail. The rail that is the main structure of the machine is an electromagnetic motor. So that carriage is pushed back and forth by that linear motor. There are no belts and pulleys involved, so very low maintenance. It also means that heavy carriage can be turned around and accelerated again very, very rapidly. As standard, the machine comes ready to accept mini jumbo paper rolls. There's also an optional full jumbo feeder too for really large rolls of paper. And then of course, 10-liter ink tanks on the machine. You can't print at this kind of rate without having a large supply of ink. So that's another standard feature too. Want to do a little walk around on the machine?
Yes, thank you so much, Dave.
Sure.
What an amazing insight, not only on the Poseidon II, but on APC as well. So as you mentioned, let's go ahead with the demo of the Poseidon II. This powerhouse printer is built for serious production, as you just mentioned. And I know you're here to give us a closer look to this performance.
Are we on that feed?
Not yet.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh,
Your mic is muted.
just waiting for Tyler's camera to come on.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So as mentioned, everything is controlled either from the inbuilt Q computer. So all your jobs are imported in here. Nice features are that you have some manipulation you can make of the RIP file. For customers that do seamless step and repeat printing, such as tablecloth production or yardage of fabric, you don't need that function in your rip. You can rip a single instance of the pattern, and then you can set your horizontal and vertical repeats right here on the queue. So instead of generating these gargantuan files, you can have a very small file come over and then generate the repeat right here.
That's a feature in the past that usually was an add-on you had to pay for too. So
you had to pay for it in your rip to do it. Yep. So, test print nozzle check is controlled from here. But yeah, really, this computer is mostly for handling the files, the queue, and then doing your test printing. As far as maintenance of the printer itself goes, it has a built-in touch screen. So this is your monitor screen here that tells you your rate that you're printing at, and a few other specifics. I go back to the home screen here under maintain. This is where you perform your cleanings, either individual channels or across all heads. Let's double check here. Yep. And then your movement section here, you can bring the carriage out to the maintenance area just to perform maintenance on the underside of the carriage. You can return it back to the capping station. And then, of course, you can advance paper, move the carriage manually. Transmission section here. When new rolls of paper are loaded on the machine, you actually have to make a measurement of the diameter of the roll. It's just so that the machine can set up its feed and maintain it. So that is where that is set right here. This also controls the temperature of the heater, the post-printing heater. What else have we got here? The platen vacuum, pretty self-explanatory. Any alarms that come up, we actually had one right before we started the broadcast here where we ran one of the tanks low on ink, and that any of those alarms will pop up here. Any errors, any alert items, you can address them and then clear the alarm. And that's that's about it. It's compared to, you would expect a large printer like this to be complex, but it's actually one of the simplest printers to use, even compared to small machines like Epsons and Mamaki's. It looks imposing, but very simple to use. As far as a walk around, let's take a look at the carriage first. So this is a print carriage. We weren't able to pull the cover off easily, right? Okay. Has sub-tanks that supply the ink to the print heads. It's all managed by negative pressure to keep very consistent flow of inks. I'll move the carriage out here. I'm just going to close this door for a second because where my screen is. Movement, move to maintain. Bring the carriage out. Okay, notice no belts. If you want to jump over here for a second. So this is our station area. No actual caps like on a smaller machine. What this does have, you'll see there's a rubber gasket around the outside here. When this comes back, they call it capping. This whole tray will move up and seal against the whole underside of the carriage. And then just the liquid that's in here creates a humid environment, which keeps the print heads happy. The wiper runs on this chain here. And then, as mentioned, the machine pumps distilled water onto that wiper to clean it. So, that really isn't an item that the user has to clean very much. If we jump down here real quick, very simple. Here's our waste tank with a drain port on it to easily, get it out and take it away from the machine. And then the only maintenance fluid you need for this machine is just standard distilled water. So much so that the machine doesn't even come with a bottle for it, because the idea is you just use the bottle that the water comes in. So this is what is used to maintain that station area and the wiper. Onboard computer is right here. One thing that's kind of unique about this is it has a fiber optic network card in it that communicates to the print system of the machine. So it's a proprietary card that goes in this that provides very high-speed data transfer. But that comes with the machine. Nothing you have to worry about. Oh, taking a quick look over here. This is the S-Wave platen that I mentioned. This helps, especially on light gram weight papers, pull out any wrinkles that are in the machine. Comes over a very large roller here. And then the dancer bars on the machine, they actually use a brush type roller here, again, for printing on lightweight papers. It just, any wrinkles that want to develop in the paper, this allows it to conform a little bit rather than just running over a hard metal roller. It allows a little bit of forgivingness to keep a really consistent feed and keep the paper flat. Don't know, machine has dual jam sensors. Rather than being a standard sort of paddle type, it's a little hard to see here, but it has a number of little plastic fingers under here, and there's actually a light beam that shines across from the back to the front. And so when any one of those gets knocked out of position, it breaks the beam, and that's what stops the carriage very quickly. Let me get my flashlight here. All right. As mentioned, this machine runs 8 Kyocera 600 DPI print heads. You can see them there. So a lot of printing firepower in there. You can see there, there's the jam sensor system there with the light beam shining across it. So as far as user maintenance, just, cleaning around the edges of the print heads, very minimal. All right. These up. Jump over here. So we've got our 10-liter ink tanks. And then this here, these are the lines for the cooling that I mentioned. If we jump around the back here, this is the industrial chiller. So this provides the cooling to cool the print heads. It's not absolutely necessary to run this. There's no risk of overheating the printer. But the idea here is if you want to maintain the absolute best color accuracy, this will keep the print heads running at a constant temperature all the time. Mini jumbo roll handling as standard. Uses a inflatable air chuck type system to hold the rolls in place. Machine has a little air gun on board to handle that. Same thing with the take-up. So this is very similar to what's used on a lot of calendar presses. So, a lot of the heavier users will be familiar with these. Take a look back in here. This is what's driving the paper through the machine. So no pinch rollers, very large rubber roller. So that's what gives it the really consistent feed at speed. And then to handle that transport for loading and unloading, this allows you to set your direction, if you've got paper that's wound print side in or print side out. Manual and auto, loading it, you'll be in manual mode. And then once you're all webbed up, auto, so that just maintains the feed. Same thing on the feeding unit, and and take-up unit as well. So controls on this machine are pretty simple. And I think that's kind of it for the overview. Should probably start a print running again so we can see it. Let me just, hold on. Let me return that back to home. So actually you'll see this station area is actually going to come up and feel around the print head. So that's keeping in a nice humid environment that the print heads like. Now some of these industrial machines have required a little more maintenance. The thing we've found with this is the maintenance on this machine is so minimal. Let's see. Fire off a test drawer here. It's telling it it's the first test drawer I'm running so that it doesn't waste material. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. There's our nozzle check. Everything looks good. We can proceed to printing here. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to repeat this, and I want to have about 10 meters of printing, so I'm going to put in 10,000 millimeters and send that to print. Off it goes. Yeah, close the door down. All right. No.
You're still back.
Hey, Dave, that was fantastic. I had no idea that printer had those capabilities. Hey, just before we get into the questions, because I know we have some coming in, what is the installation and training like for this?
It's really surprising. This is probably the thing that surprised me most about this machine. Again, it looks like a very imposing machine, but it delivers, I would say, about 90% assembled. The installation that we do, you have to put in all the print heads and then run the cooling lines. Flush fluid through the machine, ink it up, connect the heater, and mount the computer, and then that is about it. Like I said, the printer is 90% assembled when it comes out of the crate. So, we sort of allow ourselves the best part of a week, but honestly, for the most part, we've had these up and running within day one of an install.
Wow.
Honestly, the biggest part is getting it out of the crate with a forklift. Printer install itself is actually very simple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. I had no idea that the Poseidon II had that kind of performance. Hey, MJ, we've got some questions coming in. Why don't you kick things off with a couple of questions, okay?
Okay, perfect. First question is, what type of customers purchase the Poseidon II, and what concerns do the customers have before purchasing, and how do you overcome this?
Right. What we've seen is primarily the target for this is it's those shops that are sort of print farm arrangements. They might have multiple Epsons, multiple Mamakis, and that works great for a lot of people. But then you get to a point where you just can't fit or maintain any more printers in a print room, and then this makes a lot of sense.
The number of operators you need in those print farms is greatly
right.
reduced that.
Well, and then trying to keep consistency between those printers too.
Right.
I think the main concern that people have is they look at this and they expect a level of complexity that honestly doesn't exist. Like they expect they're going to have a steep learning curve, but these are almost easier to run than some of the smaller printers. Certainly easier than maintaining a group of them. The one thing that customers need to be aware of, and we have a site survey we go through people with this on, is the power requirement. It does require, because it was kind of built for the European market, it does require 380 volt, 3-phase. Okay. So you do need to make sure you have that, or that you have a transformer that's providing that. But we have sources, and we work closely with the customer to to make sure they understand that and that we get all that squared away ahead of time.
Hey, in these print farms, I know most of them are printing apparel. How do you address the need to match pre-existing like fabric colors or existing customer color libraries? Because that's all that's where it's really handled. And before you go there, how does the RIP handle it?
So yeah, so
A lot of questions there, by the way.
So yes, so yeah, you're right. A lot of these customers, they have already established colors based on solid fabrics or recipes they've used in the past. The way we have always handled this is that we manage those color formulas on the RIP rather than in the designs themselves. So a RIP software that we use more often than not for the apparel clients is ErgoSoft, because it does this really well. It uses what they call named colors. So you create an ink formula on the RIP. So you're determining your output color on the RIP. And so long as you design your file with spot colors and the name in the file matches what's on the RIP, you could change paper, you could change inks, you can change printers. You can go from a fleet of printers to something new like this. And we're able to handle each individual color, retune those formulas, and get the same color without the customer having to go back and re-edit every artwork file that they ever made. So it also, doing it that way too, it's sort of working outside of traditional color management because you're creating formulas. We can make very pure color. We can make sure that your yellow doesn't have any cyan mixed in it, or that if you want that hot pink, that it's printing only magenta ink and it's not trying to throw in any blue to try and do something that the ICC wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that's how we handle that for the apparel type customers.
And I mean, keeping in mind that obviously the ink set has to have the capability, the color gamut to hit those colors. So
sure.
we will always pre-qualify our equipment and the ink that goes into it. And if we find that the ink that the manufacturer is supplying is weak and we can't get where we need to be, we'll find a remedy. We'll find an ink that will get us there. So, and we have a very astute professional in color management, Tony Rojas, who has yet to fail on a customer yet. So we're really good in that department as well.
Yeah. In regards to the ink, I know Tony loves the ink on this machine.
Yeah,
like he can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, if it was poor ink, we wouldn't offer it with that ink. So.
Yeah, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about it.
That's great. Another question: do you sell color profiling products, or do you just offer the service? And what do you normally recommend? Buy the equipment or use your service?
So that's actually it's a good question. And we'll go both ways. It really depends on the skill level of the customer, their desire to be able to do that. If we have a customer, it's always better. We prefer to train our customers as much as possible so that they can handle their things in-house. That keeps them operational and getting good production a lot more effectively than if they have to wait for us. Even if we're a day or two response time, which is what we aim to do, that's still a day or two where you're not able to get your job done.
Yeah.
A lot of our customers, though, they just want to be able to click print and go. Their operators aren't necessarily high skilled, especially capable of color management. That's when we will come in and say, all right, we're going to bring in our equipment. We're going to write these profiles. We're going to manage your color and make sure everything's right. But either way, at the end of the day, if you get a piece of equipment from us, we're going to make sure that you're able to do what you need to do. We will get you the resources to do that. Sometimes it's as simple as from the printer you were using before to the new one. It's a very simple match, a couple tweaks. If it gets very extensive, there's times, and it's very important to your clients to have that color exact. That's when we're going to dispatch Tony, and you're going to get real color management.
Okay, great.
Hey, moving to a different direction here. Hey, during FESPA, there was in Berlin this year, there was quite a movement from sublimation to pigment printing. And I'm interested in this part of it. And then the second part of this, which is a different question, is DTF as well. How do you compare the three? And do you see a lot of people moving from sublimation to pigment?
So that is definitely a trend in the industry right now. And pigment I see in the long term, because pigment keeps getting better and better,
Yeah.
that's probably where a lot of the printing is going to go in textile. It's going to head that direction. You get better outdoor durability. There's better color fastness for sure. Crockability is an issue. So there's positives and negatives with both.
Sure.
Um, the technology changing in textile pigment and allowing for some inks now aren't requiring pre-treatment, which has always been a big lag there. Pre-treating natural fiber is very expensive. It increases your costs. It's coming. That's what everybody used to want when dye sub was first coming out, and now they've developed polyesters that really emulate a lot of natural fiber. So it's not, now customers are, you got to convince them to go back to natural fiber.
It's not as big of a deal.
Yes, that's right. It used to be everybody wanted that. Now that it's available in a more easily fashion, it's just not as popular. But it's growing. It's never going to completely take away dye sublimation. I don't think. I think there's a proper solution for different applications. You're never going to do outdoor feather flags with with print through single reverse flags with textile pigment. So it's catching up, and there will be growth there. As far as DTF goes, obviously that thing came in like a wildfire and just boomed across the nation. Everybody bought a machine, and then a lot of people realized they weren't printers. They were designers, they were salespeople, they could sell shirts, but they really weren't printers. And now that market is shaking out to a lot more of the wholesale provider providing the print. Your Etsy shop owner or the small shop owner is buying a heat press and the garments and decorating them and then reselling them to their customers. And that's where machines like the film jet come into play, because that machine is really designed to do unattended long run printing. And I think that is what we're going to see more of, that condensing in the DTF. I think the growth there is kind of slowed down a little. And again, there are things that DTG can do that DTF just can't. And I think that now that kind of boom has slowed down a little, that's coming back some as well.
I think you can really see the with DTF, non-supported printers, and also people that getting into the business that should have never got into the business. Like you said, it's I think we went through
we were lucky to avoid a lot of that. We did not place a lot of DTF units. We saw, we've been doing this a long time. We've spent years installing printers in people's basements, spare bedrooms, and we know what that means. It means service that you can't necessarily handle, and we're not going to put ourselves in a position where we're going to leave customers in the lurches. So, we avoided that one to a degree. We sell it, but we're selective.
Okay.
I know you're a very solutions oriented. What other textile products do you offer?
We kind of covered that in the overview a little bit. I mean, calendar presses, that's a big part of it for us. It doesn't matter how good your printer is if you can't transfer that paper to fabric, or if you're printing fabric directly, if you can't cure that ink to the fabric, then it doesn't matter what printer you have. It's where we offer Practice and Colorfly. And, it's one of those things, whenever a customer comes to us, looking to get into this or looking to expand what they're doing, we don't just push equipment. We ask a lot of questions, make sure that we're getting the right fit, because, it's sort of like, buying buying stuff is like buying a car. It's sort of like you pay for how fast you want to go. And you don't want to overpay for speed that you don't need. And at the same time, too, you don't want to, buy this huge piece of equipment and then find out that you need another one because it wasn't fast enough. So, calendar presses, heat presses, and then the lasers for finishing. That's been really important for us with our apparel customers, because there's a lot of people that they don't produce enough of a given design and a given size to pre-cut everything. And for their workflow, it's easier to just cut on the fly, print roll to roll and cut on the fly. So the lasers have been a great solution for that.
I'd also add another textile solution that we're bringing to market. If you see it, that we've been doing that. Right. But if you stop by our booth at Printing United, you can certainly talk to us about this one as well. We are going to develop, with Tony's help, our color expert, a real proofing system for these textile printers, so they don't have to stop production with their textile printer to get a proof to the customer to approve color. That's going to be
Okay.
able to be done on a paper device, set aside, that's going to be made to match all of the printers you have in your production shop.
Great.
And I think that's really big, because we have people that will buy a printer just so they don't have to stop their
Mm.
production machine to do proofing. And historically, a lot of customers do this the wrong way. They print their proof on a device that can create way more color than anything in their print shop, and then they say, okay, this is my proof. We
Mm.
do it the right way. We make sure that that proof comes out within the capabilities of what the production printer can do, so you have an actual proof. So
So would it be a smaller printer? And
yes, yep,
okay, so you
small
probably have,
with a very wide color gamut, so that we can fit everything that you have into that
okay.
space and
Great.
reproduce it accurately. Correct. Yeah.
Would it, something like that, what rip would you use with it?
Um, it, it probably would be Ergosoft. If you're a Caldera shop, though, Tony can do it with Caldera.
We're probably going to match what the production system
Yeah,
is.
we really are versed in every rip out there, and we sell most of them. There's some that we feel shine above others. Ergosoft is definitely one of the ones in textile that, well, I mean, I think I've been doing Ergosoft with textile since '03, and
Wow.
it's really good, solid. Caldera is really good as well. It depends on the customer and their application, what they're used to.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's do the last question, MJ. I think we have one more
Okay.
question to go.
Okay, perfect. So, if you had to do this all over again, would you start this business again?
Oh,
So
geez.
for me, it's not even. I never planned to start a business. I just love printing, and
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way I wouldn't be involved in printing.
Okay.
And then I'm a horrible employee. I don't like to be told what to do. So odds are I probably would. Yeah, I probably
Okay. Okay.
You're not
Yeah,
manageable?
no, not at all. I did. If you tell me that I have to do something, I will specifically
you are
not do
less
it.
manageable. You're less manageable than your hair.
Yeah, that's right. That's it.
Yeah, I sometimes forget that I'm in a business. I just, I sort of, again, I got into printing very early on, and I think I'll always be involved in printing. I love wrenching on printers. I love working on printers.
Helping
You know,
customers,
yeah,
solving
I probably
problems.
like fixing printers a little bit more than my partners would prefer, because there's the running the business side of things too, which is less fun than playing with printers. But
Mm,
um, yeah, I think I'll always be involved in printing. And now we have this business. I again, it's I love helping other people, and this is the best way to do it, I think.
Doesn't seem like you can get away from it either, Dan. To be fair.
I
that's
tell you
true.
what, to be fair, and that's a great question. I tell MJ, be careful
Yeah.
because the ink gets in your blood, and guess what?
Next thing you know, you've got a whole lifetime of printing behind you.
Yeah.
No, but this has been great because of the fact that I still get to participate in the business,
Mm,
but I don't have your headaches. I don't have to worry
Right.
about, trade shows. I don't have to worry about inventory, whether this piece of equipment's moving or not. We get to talk to wonderful people like you. So
yeah.
this is a great way to do it, actually.
Yeah, it's a great thing you
Yeah.
put together too, Dan. We
Thank you. Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you very much, guys. This has been a great session of Win StreamIt. We really appreciate your participation
Hmm.
with us. We will also like to give a shout out to Janine of APC, who helped us make this session a
She
reality.
sure did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
she did. By the way, if you would like to get in touch with APC, please go to www.apcinc.com.
Hey,
you. If you're at
absolutely,
Print,
MJ.
if you're at Print United, feel free to come see us at booth
Oh yes.
5461 as well.
Yeah, I definitely put that on your scorecard for a visit. Um, But before we wrap up, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Win Quick News, our weekly newsletter. It's posted straight to your inbox.
And I've got some exciting news to share. We're about to launch a brand new online feature called the Win Update, a fast 2 to 3 minute video rundown of the weekly top stories in our industry. And I'm thrilled to say I'll be bringing you the Spanish version every week.
And I know you're thrilled to say that I won't be bringing the Spanish version.
Yes.
I'll be barely handling the English version. Okay, hey, a quick tease. Our preliminary test episode is going to go live on Friday, I think. I'm hoping. And we featured the DGI Poseidon II from APC as our very first product of the week. You know, after seeing this, I'm so excited we did
I
because
know.
this product's incredible.
I know.
It's definitely worth checking out.
I can't wait then to kick this off officially. Our Win Update shows will be available on all of our social media platforms, along with highlights from over 100 videos and recaps from major trade shows like I say, FESPA Berlin, Createx, and Andigrafica in Colombia. Plus, all of our Win streaming sessions, including these sessions, are available on demand after each broadcast.
Wow, that's a lot of content for one year.
Yes.
And speaking of major industry events, we're excited to announce that World Imaging News and Win Latino are now official media sponsors of Printing United. I'll be reporting live from Orlando, and we're planning to have Rob and Dave. I haven't asked them yet, but I'm just going to assume that they're going to be with us. Remember, as Rob said, booth 5461. 5461. So make sure you write that down. We're going to capture as much product information if we can from their booth.
And that's not all, Dan. We're excited to share that WIN is also an official sponsor of FESPA Mexico, and I'll be reporting live from
Yes.
Mexico City during the show, bringing you exclusive interviews and the latest innovations as they happen.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that, MJ. Hey, we couldn't be more thrilled to partner with both of these amazing events, Printing United and FESPA Mexico. It's been a day full of big news, and there's so much more ahead. Don't forget to stay connected with us online at worldimagingnews.com for all the latest updates.
And for our Spanish speaking friends, worldimaginenewslatina.com.
And I'll try not to be speaking Spanish. And that's a wrap for this episode of When Stream It. I'm Dan Barefoot.
And I'm MJ.
And until next time, be healthy and keep on smiling.
Manténganse saludables y sigan sonriendo.